Hello! Welcome to the channel. This video is about modal verbs. Let's get started. This time, we will talk about 3 different usage of modal verbs. 1. Modal verb about request and permission. And request for I and request for you. And also some other hints. Let's take a look. What are they? Making a request, asking permissions. What is the informal way of a request and a permission? And then a request for I and a request for you. And there's some other hints. First of all, we take a look at asking permission and request. First of all, we take a look at how to make a request and asking permissions. We use modal verbs can or could, may or might, plus bare infinitive to make request and ask permissions. In an informal situation, we can use can to make requests and ask permission. If that is a slightly more formal situation, we could use could instead of can. For example, can you lend me your calculator? Or could you pass me the salt? We use can and could plus bare infinitive when we want someone to do something. How about when we want to be allowed to do something? How should we say it? Let's take a look. We use the word can and could plus I, can I, could I, plus bare infinitive when we want to be allowed to do something. Can I borrow your calculator? Could I have a look at your newspaper? That is another alternative, requesting for I. Let's take a look how to do it. We use may or might. Now, might is a very formal one and it is not very common. Instead, we can use can or could in a more formal request. Okay, so for example, may I go to the toilet, sir? Then how about an alternative of requesting for you? Let's take a look. We use may when we want to be allowed to do something. We cannot make requests with may you or might you. Instead, could you give me a lift? Then how about some hints we must care about? Let's take a look. Now in 2013, paper 3 exam, many students lost marks in task line because their request sounds more like an order. You have to check. Now remember, in written English, it is always best to use polite language. But how can we do it? How can we write in a more gentle and more polite way? Let's take a look. We can make a request much more polite or much more friendly by simply adding please. For example, can I please come in? Could you show me the way, please? If we want somebody to do us a big favor, how could we say it? Let's take a look. When we ask someone to do quite a big favor, it sounds much nicer to ask, could you possibly help me carry this sofa? Of course, it must be a very big favor. Alright, that's all for today. Like this video and subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Goodbye!